Welcome to Well-Led Schools, a show that helps school leaders, aspiring leaders and wellbeing advocates improve culture and lead their schools with wellbeing in mind. If your staff aren't receptive to the wellbeing initiatives you've introduced in the past, it could be because the solutions you've provided weren't addressing the bigger underlying problem. If a number of staff in your school are struggling to keep up with their workload, morale is low, and conflicts are bubbling up left and right, there's probably a larger culture-related problem going on. One that morning tea, a one-off wellbeing workshop, or a staff scavenger hunt is unlikely to solve. Conducting an anonymous staff wellbeing survey is the most effective way to pinpoint exactly where your staff stresses lie and which school focuses and wellbeing initiatives will make the biggest difference to their wellbeing. Plus, it's a step towards creating the conditions of a wellbeing focused school, one which actively asks staff about their stresses and then works to address them. In episode 6 of Well-Led Schools, we'll be exploring the importance of surveying your staff to understand their needs before implementing new initiatives designed to improve staff wellbeing and school culture. But before we get right into it, I'm Adrienne Hornby, a health and wellbeing consultant for schools and a former school leader. I work alongside school leaders and their staff to build and embed a tailored staff wellbeing action plan. Their plan will nurture a positive school environment and address teacher burnout so they can improve school outcomes and performance. I'll be bringing you useful bite-sized episodes that share practical ideas to improve staff wellbeing by putting people first, then pedagogy. Now let's get started. Before implementing any new initiatives designed to support staff and teacher wellbeing, it's so important that leaders assess their school and gather the relevant data to understand how their people are doing at work, uncover any underlying issues, and determine what initiatives may be most helpful for their school. The process of gathering and reviewing multiple sets of data is called a school scan. And one way to collect this data is by running a school-wide Anonymous Staff Wellbeing Survey. Anonymous Staff Wellbeing Surveys can help leaders to collect valuable feedback, which will aid them in creating a wellbeing action plan that directly addresses the needs most reported through the survey. And we talked about a wellbeing action plan in last week's episode 5. So be sure to go back and check that one out. Schools should carry out wellbeing surveys at least once a year in order to better understand how teachers and school staff are feeling mentally and physically, what stresses are impacting staff wellbeing, how staff feel about work practices, engagement, morale, and management, how supported teachers and school staff feel, feedback on leadership's processes, models, and approaches to staff wellbeing and mental health, and any additional support they might need for their mental health and wellbeing. So as discussed, Anonymous Staff Wellbeing Surveys provide leaders with more important insights that allow them to make better informed decisions on how to support their staff's wellbeing. Let's take a look at some of the other benefits of using wellbeing surveys at your school. When you give your staff a voice, they're more likely to feel engaged when given opportunities to provide feedback and be heard. Involving them in the process of change helps them to feel like a valued member of the team. A well-constructed survey can help leaders to identify the overall sentiment towards the school's culture. Additionally, it can also help to quantify how many of your staff are struggling and how they view the support that they're currently receiving. When staff feel that they can share feedback and express their concerns, they're less likely to build resentment and more likely to hold themselves accountable for communicating when they're struggling to their leaders. Surveying helps you to pinpoint exactly what approaches and initiatives staff need to improve their wellbeing. In an environment where leaders encourage their staff to provide feedback, there is more likely to be collaboration, trust, and loyalty, meaning that staff are more likely to seek solutions than leave. Additionally, survey data helps leaders make better informed decisions regarding staff wellbeing initiatives so they can effectively boost morale, influence a change in culture, and boost performance and outcomes. Now, I know you might be thinking that you've run surveys before and nothing came of it, or your staff will just ignore this one like they have the others. But never before have we thought to ask our staff the right kinds of questions and provided them with a safe environment to give us the information that we need. When staff understand that the survey is part of a big picture strategy to address the underlying challenges once and for all, I guarantee they'll get on board. Once you have this data, it's important you create the solutions and an action plan that directly mirror your priorities identified through your survey. By combining my experience working as a teacher, school leader, and health and wellbeing consultant, and considering the advice of leading wellbeing organisations and research in educational leadership, I've designed and built an 80+ question survey that asks staff targeted questions covering their wellbeing, burnout risk, school culture, attitudes, stresses, morale, school leadership approaches, and wellbeing initiatives that they feel would make the biggest and most impactful difference. The mix of multiple choice and open-ended questions ensures you're able to gather measurable data and written feedback so you can delve even further into the collected data. Without these insights, you're really just leaving it up to guesswork, and we know where that gets us. So if you're tired of throwing time and money into initiatives that don't move the needle, I invite you to take a new approach in 2023. We currently offer 2 survey package options. The first option is the DIY Self-Wellbeing Survey, where you'll receive a copy of the editable survey along with detailed instructions for running the survey yourself, as well as reviewing your survey data with your staff. The second package option includes the support to conduct your survey, a detailed analysis and summary report of your results, and recommendations for next steps and priorities from me. This report is comprehensive and includes everything you could possibly need to get started. The truth is, you can't rely on what you think you know about your staff's wellbeing. This survey gives you tangible data you can use in your strategic directions so you can make a big difference in your staff's wellbeing and school culture. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 6. If you like what was covered today, don't forget to like this video wherever you're seeing it, subscribe to stay updated, and share this with other leaders or school staff who might benefit from learning about practical ways to improve staff wellbeing at their school. I'm Adrienne Hornby. Thanks for your time and stay well.